All right, so the first part of the ankle eval that we're going to go over today is the history questions. You should always obtain a history and try to get a general understanding of what's going on with your patient. Yeah. So tell me about your problem today. What brings you in?
So I just fell while I was playing hockey, and I kind of twisted my ankle in an awkward way, and it's been hurting for the past couple days or so.
All right. So when did you first notice the symptoms?
Probably right when it happened, to be honest. It was like it just didn't feel right whenever I fell on it, and it got swollen pretty quickly, and it was stiff, and it was kind of hard to move.
All right. Have you had a history of this problem before? Or any?
No, this is really the first time I've ever had this sort of injury.
Anyone in your family had similar symptoms or an injury like this?
Nothing I can think of.
All right. So what activity were you engaged in that caused the symptoms?
I was at hockey practice, and I was going to turn, and I lost an edge, and I fell feet first into the boards, and it just twisted it awkwardly.
All right. So was there any change in your activities recently? Have you been switching anything up that could have caused this, do you think?
Not exactly. Maybe I was going a little hard in practice, and that's maybe what caused it, but other than that, nothing really.
All right. So any specific cause of the injury you were aware of at the time?
Yeah, just because the way I fell, I was like sliding on my back, and like my leg was kind of curled up, and so my foot went into the boards first, and it just twisted it sideways.
All right. Did you hear anything at the time of the injury, like a pop or feel a tear or anything?
I didn't. It felt like something definitely was like tweaked, just because it bent more than it should have. But other than that, no.
All right. So trying to get an understanding of like the time of everything. Are the symptoms onset or gradual? Sudden or gradual?
It was pretty sudden when it happened. I felt it right away, and it's pretty much been consistent for the past couple of days.
So how long do they last, the symptoms?
It's been about 3 days since it happened, and I would say it's still pretty swollen and sore.
So it's been pretty constant?
Pretty constant.
Yeah. And when do the symptoms typically occur? Have you noticed anything that weeds them out a little bit more, makes them more noticeable?
Definitely walking doesn't help it. I can walk on it, but anything more than that, it requires more movement or anything sudden change of direction. I can't really do that.
All right, so now I'm going to have you point with one finger to the area where your symptoms are the worst.
Okay. It's pretty much right in here, around the ankle and the surrounding muscles.
Okay. Is there any other areas that you feel pain in besides this?
Not really. Maybe a little bit like up in here, but it's mostly central to this area.
All right. You can put your foot down. So we're gonna, characterize the symptoms a little bit. So what is the pain? Is it dull? Is it sharp? Sting?
I would say it's pretty dull, especially in the muscle area, but around the bone, I guess it's a little more sharp.
All right. Does the pain radiate at all? Does it spread around?
Not so much. I mean, like I said, it's maybe a little bit above there, but for the most part, it's pretty central.
All right. So have you found anything that relieves the pain?
Ice. I've iced it a couple times, but it still comes back pretty moderately afterwards.
So alongside that, what increases the pain? What have you noticed?
Definitely just the function of it, like walking around and stuff. Like I said, I can walk, but anything more than that, the pain really starts to bump up. But walking is definitely uncomfortable.
All right. So how do they affect your activity level, like the symptoms?
I can't. I obviously can't skate on this, but I haven't been able to go to the gym either. I've just been trying to take some time off and kind of evaluate it and see if it gets better in the next couple of days. But yeah.
So have you had any other symptoms alongside this, like tightness, swelling, aching? Like, has it locked up at all?
It does feel tight and stiff. It's especially when I've been icing it or it's been static for a while. It really tightens up.
All right. So, get more about like your sport. What sport do you play?
I play hockey.
What position?
I'm a right wing.
Okay. And how long and how often are your practices?
They're typically twice a week for about an hour. Right now,
Do you think there's any equipment that could relate to your symptoms that make it like worse? Put pressure on any areas?
yeah, the skate. Like when I went into the boards, the skate is kind of what caused it. Like the skate blade,
Yeah.
it got caught on the board, and that's kind of what caused it to twist. And it's wrapped around the ankle, but it's one piece. So if that moves, your whole foot moves.
Right. So, what's like your warm up pattern? How do you get your body ready to go?
Typically, I'll try and move around a bit and stretch and making sure I'm hydrated throughout the day, especially the day of. Just try to prepare.
And, what is your dominant foot?
Right foot.
Is that the foot you're in?
That is the foot I injured.
And just some more personal questions. Have you attempted any treatment?
I have not. I've only really iced it. I just wanted to give it time.
Have you taken any medications?
Yeah, I've taken some ibuprofen for it to see if that could help reduce the pain or inflammation.
Have you seen any trainers, any other doctors to get an opinion on this?
Not yet, no.
And overall, what do you personally feel is wrong? What you would think maybe the issue?
I think it's probably a bad sprain, possibly a fracture in my ankle, but I would probably lean towards a sprain.
All right.